Fellow Toastmasters, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests. Today, I am the SAR for today's 46th meeting. My name is Kalpana. Sit back to watch a marathon. I'm not talking about the Olympics marathon. I'm talking about speech marathons. You're wondering how many kilometers or miles we will run? Well, to be honest, just put all the words on the road map of your mind, and perhaps you will know how many kilometers and miles our speakers can run. But before we continue to marathon, let me tell you what exactly are our rules. Even if you watch as spectators, our marathoners running with their words. The first rule that we follow is turn off your mobile or put them to silence. Second, in Toastmasters, we did not speak about sex, politics, or religion. And to enjoy the marathon, you need to stand outside of the marathon race area and cheer them on, but silently. For that, we have our icons on the Zoom platform. Before I continue, how can I overlook the mission of a Toastmasters club? The mission of our club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn helps them in their self-confidence and self-growth. It is immense pleasure that I now am going to introduce to you all a scientist who is also a part in running a marathon. Our presiding officer, Dheeraj. Today, watch him off the lab court, but in the garb of a Toastmaster, as he becomes the first person, or probably the last in the queue of his names, to participate in speech marathon. Let us welcome Toastmaster or presiding officer Dheeraj with a round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana, for such a wonderful introduction. Happy to hear from you. There is a famous quote by Aristotle, and it goes like, "It is during our darkest moment that we must focus to see the light." So here two words, focus and light, have relevance to today's meeting. So focus, because the theme of today's meeting brought out to us by a very humble and knowledgeable Toastmaster Subbu, and the light. So light has relevance from the two sense, because all of must are aware about that yesterday, that was the ending of the Republic Day, in which Boat Lab, in association with the Defense Ministry. So Boat Lab is a startup, Delhi-based startup. So it, in association with the Defense Ministry, conceptualized the novel drone show to commemorate the 75th year of independence. This drone show used laser to show many creative formation in the sky in the beating the retreat ceremony of the Republic Day. So those who don't know, beating the retreat ceremony marks the last day of the Republic Day. So why I'm highlighting it here? Because with this, India is the fourth country to put indigenously designed and conceptualized drone show after China, Russia, and the United States. So this is a remarkable achievement of the India. India is growing. So without much ado, let's move to the next session. But before that, let me see if there is any guest in today's meeting room. Yeah, so I can see that we have two guests today. Guest Anish. So welcome to the meeting, guest Anish. Would you like to tell us, how you got to know about Toastmaster and what you are looking from today's meeting?
So I got to know from Toastmasters because I would like to see if I can improve my public speaking skills. So that's why I researched about Toastmasters out of Mumbai. And this happens to be my first ever session of any Toastmasters ever. So just want to understand what happens and see how I can contribute in later stages.
Yeah, so yes, this is the right platform, and please stay connected. With the end, we will have a networking session where you can meet the people from different background. We have another guest Kailash. Can you help us can you introduce yourself and let us know how you got to know about Toastmaster?
Hi, good evening all. This is Kailash, and I got to know this thing by I used to read that Quran. So there, I got some article regarding Toastmasters, and here again I'm here for networking and these all things and to meet more friends. Obviously.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good to see you here. Please stay connected till the end of the meeting. We have another guest
Now, I hear
Avinash
the-
Anand. Avinash, can you tell us that how you got to know about us and what you're looking from today's meeting?
Yeah, hi all. Actually, one of my friends is there has, so I just wanted to know how Toastmasters works and what is the curriculum like, and yes, get to know what goes on in sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the right platform, and your friend is very energetic. You will love to be on board with us in the Toastmaster Club. Okay.
Yeah,
with
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So with this, I hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Subbu. Please.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Dheeraj, for setting the stage and also being very welcoming. I think you did a great job by getting all our guests also very comfortable. What comes to your mind when you read the theme, Focus Don't Require Eyes? I would like to hear some answers, or probably in the chat. What comes to your mind when you read this theme, Focus Don't Require Eyes?
I have to open the eyes of my mind.
Okay, open the eyes of the mind. Brilliant. Okay, any other thought?
Focus require lens.
Okay, focus require lens. Yes, that is a literal answer. Yes, camera focus definitely require lenses. Any other perspective?
It's mind over matter.
Okay, it's the endeavor that matters. Brilliant. Okay, any other thoughts?
When your body is completely in tune, your not only your productivity increases, but also your capacity to deliver.
Okay, super. When your body is in sync, like body is the physical representation of the mind. That is one perspective. Brilliant. Thank you so much for all your answers. I think that was a good warm-up session that we had through the interactive session. There is one story that I really loved when I read it. However, in one of the articles, and it was also delivered in kind of the kathas that they do it by some religious speakers. However, there are some the disclaimer. What I would like to say here is that there are some articles on blogs which tells that this story is not correct. It is a myth. Okay. However, I would like to share this story. What I really enjoyed, and I felt it was quite in line with the theme. There was a very great king. Okay, he was none other than Prithviraj Chauhan. He took the throne at the very young age of 11 years, and it was believed that he died at the age of 26 years. And as I told, history has different originations, and it has been changed in several contexts. It is believed that he defeated Gori, the ruler Gori, and even though he defeated him multiple times, though Gori was defeated by Gujarat's Nayaki Devi and even by Prithviraj Chauhan, actually Gori started to retreat by showing his own back. When Prithviraj Chauhan accepted this with a deceived peace treaty which Gori presented, Prithviraj Chauhan accepted it, and during a night or during the Silos time, he was kidnapped. Prithviraj Chauhan was kidnapped and he was taken to Afghanistan, Ghazni. There, along with his court poet, there in his place, in his reign of Gori, he decided to kill Prithviraj Chauhan. And he also ordered to take the eyes of Prithviraj Chauhan. By hearing this, his court poet, Prithviraj Chauhan Saab's court poet, he told, "I'm totally surprised. You are willing to pluck the eyes of Chauhan without even knowing his strengths." Then Gauri was fascinated, like I was fascinated reading the story. What is his strength? Can you tell? The poet replied, humbly replied, Chauhan can actually strike an arrow from the direction the sound comes. With this, Gauri was highly fascinated, and he was eagerly waiting. Would he be able to achieve this? Remember, Gauri had already taken the eyes, both the eyes of Prithviraj Chauhan, and he is now without his eyes. He was called everyone, and the bow and arrow was given. Everybody was assembled over there. Actually the rule is that whenever he strikes a bell, he would mention that strike the arrow. Gauri would mention then strike the arrow. With this, Prithviraj Chauhan would pull the bowstring and strike the arrow. To know what happened next, I would like to stay tuned, like all of you to stay tuned. Every Toastmaster session comprises of 3 different segments. The first is the prepared speeches segment, in which the Toastmaster members, only the members, they prepared their own speeches, rehearses it well, get it reviewed from the mentor, and then deliver it on stage, which would be evaluated by a set of evaluators. Respective speakers would be evaluated by their own evaluators. The second interesting segment, and today, interestingly, we are going to run a marathon, which was wonderfully explained, wonderfully given a theme of the speech marathon by our Sergeant at Arms, Kalpana. And the second segment is the table topic segment. Today, we will be continuing only with the speech marathon. And the third important segment is will be the general evaluation, the evaluation segment. The general evaluator, to conduct this, we have a person, general evaluator, who would be called towards after the prepared speeches segment. However, his one set of team, which is the tag team, timer, R counter, and grammarian, we would go ahead with the introduction of them first. First, we have a role player who is going to play the going to play the role of timer. And this person is what I have observed in the previous sessions that I have actually witnessed is that she is a highly focused person. She wants to improve her communication as well as her leadership skills. And even as a guest, she has given wonderful speeches without any fear. And she is always focused to improve herself. So let us not waste our time, and let us hear from our timer, Toastmaster Monica, to present her timing roles and responsibilities. Over to you, Toastmaster Monica.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Welcome, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. I am the timer for a day, and let me share my screen. Thank you. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes. White screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. As a timer, my duty is time to prepare speeches, table topics, evaluation, and let me explain the time. For prepared speeches, the time allocated varies as per the project and will be stated by the evaluator. For instance, for an icebreaker, the time allocated is 4 to 6 minutes. For table topic session, the time allocated is 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluation, the time allocated is 2 to 3 minutes. Speech specified time limit to qualify for the awards at the end of the meeting. Like I will show the cards, the green, yellow, red. Display the green screen at the minimum qualifying time. Yellow screen at midpoint of the qualifying time range, and red screen at maximum qualifying time. End of the speech. Okay, let me explain the grace time. The prepared speeches and the evaluation, the speaker has 30-second grace before the minimum qualifying time and after the maximum qualifying time. For the table topic, there is a grace of 30 seconds only after the red screen is displayed. All the speakers who continue to speak beyond the 30-second grace will not qualify for the vote. I will report the time taken by speakers when called upon. Thank you, and over to a Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica, for giving a detailed description of how the timer is being played and also showing a demo of it. Thank you so much. Next, we would like to have the second tag role player, who is a HR professional, and she loves to read, write, and listen to music. When I asked about the theme of the day, what makes her to focus more, right? So what is something that she wants to focus more, or she has to focus more? She replied that when she grew up, she wanted to learn the art of cooking. Though she despised cooking at the young age, still she was fascinated, particularly with her mother's delicacies. Over years, she has gained expertise in cooking, and she has overcome this weakness. Now she is using it as a stress buster. I'm sure in the next physical meeting, she is going to sponsor us as welcoming snack. So let us put our hands together to welcome the counter of today's session, Toastmaster Shilpa Sastry. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subbu. My role today is that of an counter. There's nothing wrong as such with using filler words, but when we use them excessively, they can detract from your confidence and credibility. Imagine presenting a strong recommendation to a board of directors and then using an in every word. That would undermine your message. So here's my role for the day. Greetings, all Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or a pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words, including or, and I'll also note down any repetition of words such as this means or I. I'll report the number of times that each speaker uses these expressions and will share a report when asked for it. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Yes. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shilpa, for detailing about the counter roles and responsibilities. The best part was she used one expression with the way she used those fillers. Thank you so much. Next, we have the third role player of the tag team, the grammarian. And to play this, we have a person from corporate club, NKP Tech Talkers Toastmasters Club, who works for Morgan Stanley. She is an avid traveler and also a novice reader. She also loves to solve the 6 sides of the Rubik Cube. When I asked her about the focus, what makes her to focus and in what aspect she wants to focus, she tells that she is not that much a focusing person. However, she is looking at people around, and she wants to learn the art of focusing to achieve great things in life. However, I would like to humbly deny that she is not focused. Without being focused person, I am sure none of us would have joined Toastmasters. So let us put our hands together to welcome the grammarian, Toastmaster Sudha Iyer, to present her grammarian roles and responsibilities. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. That was really kind of you. So I'm the grammarian for today. And as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to the usage of the language. I'll take note of any incorrect usage of the words and grammar, as well as good usage of words, phrases, quotes, etc. And as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So I've already put it on the chat for everyone to refer to, but still I would take this opportunity to just share my screen and show you what the word of the day and the phrase of the day is. Just give me a second. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so the word of the day today is agog, which basically means very curious to hear or see something. I'm agog. Some synonyms are excited, eager, keen, and thrilled. Some examples which we can use in today's session: all agog to know about what happened. I've been agog all afternoon waiting for the next part of your story, just like Toastmaster Subbu's story. We are all agog with curiosity. he was all agog at the surprise announcement. So this is the word of the day, agog. And I would encourage everyone to use this word of the day to the fullest. Moving ahead to the phrase of the day, it is to face the music, which everyone might have at some point in time, to be confronted with unpleasant consequences. Some examples are, if you have done something wrong, you have to face the music. Having failed in his English test, he had to go home and face the music. So again, I'd like to reiterate, I have put the word of the day and the phrase of the day in the chat box. I would encourage everyone to use it at the maximum. When called upon, I would give my report in the general evaluator session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudha, for detailing about the grammarian roles and responsibilities and also introducing the word of the day. The best skill that we learn in Toastmasters is to focus on the entire session or the things happening in and as part of that session, like how Sudha used use the word usages that she is feeling agog to listen to this story ahead. So thank you so much. And coming back to the story before we start with the speech marathon, the poet, the court poet of Chauhan Chand Bardai, I think I pronounced his name correctly. So he mentioned that Chauhan has this unique skill of sending the arrow in the direction of hearing the noise, hearing the sound. And Gauri decided to, place a bell, to ring a bell, and after that he would tell, send the arrow. Now Chauhan actually as soon as the bell rang, he was actually putting his hand in the direction of the bell. And then Gauri mentioned, come on, like send the arrow. Immediately he turned to the position from where the sound of Gauri came, and he actually killed Gauri. So this is a story which actually mentioned that what he was not able to achieve with his eyes, he achieved without his eyes. So focus doesn't actually require eyes. I don't know whether this is a true story or true historical one. Still, I feel focus has to all do with the mind. So with this thought to linger in your mind, I would like to present with you the next set of speakers. And today we have 7 set of speakers as part of the speech marathon. The first speaker, before calling the first speaker, who is going to present his icebreaker, I would like to invite his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Aarti, to present the speech evaluation guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Subramanian. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am going to evaluate Toastmaster Dev's speech. It is an icebreaker speech. He is going to attempt level 1, project 1. The purpose of the speech is to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note, the timing is between 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aarti. The first speaker who is going to come on stage is a budding doctor who wants to change the world, who is ready to change the world. When I asked him about the theme, he mentioned that he, along with his 3 school friends, actually cracked an investing competition in NMIMS, I think Narsi Mohanji Institute of Management Studies. He was able to achieve with great focus and with the help of his mentor, Saurabh, support, and congratulations on that. Let us have our first speaker, Toastmaster Dev Chauhan. If Dev Chauhan, over to you, Dev. Can you please check your audio and video?
Yeah. Am I audible and am I visible?
Yes. However, I feel you're. Is this a stable position?
For me, yeah. I'll manage it somehow.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Please let me know if you have any lags from your side.
No, right now, no lags, Dev. Thank you.
And when can I start?
Yes. Toastmaster Dev. If Toastmaster Dev.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subbu, for that lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and friends in the audience. Have you heard about the famous poem written by Rudyard Kipling? It goes by the name of If. It's a poem written in the 19th century which gives the reader a glimpse about the way one should conduct their life. This 19th century piece goes like, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. As a child, it was quite the opposite for me. Every day was stimulating, physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything excited me. There was always a new world to explore, a new path to walk. When often asked about what I will choose to become once I grow up, my answer would always change from a whim. From a paleontologist to an astronaut, I wanted to be everything, know everything. I always wondered, what if I always knew what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do? Anyway, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. I remember my school life vividly. I brought home many accolades. I still have those stacks of certificates and that box of trophies. So expectations for me at home were running quite high. There would be times when I would underperform academically, extracurricularly, or even in sports. It would leave me with a sour taste, but I would always look forward to doing my best because that is what I love to do. Thus, I stood out from my peers. What if I was not so exceptional? If you can wait and not being tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap of fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build him up with worn out tools. As I became an adolescent, life had a twist, a lesson, and an opportunity waiting for me. I was preparing for my entrance for MBBS during the year 2018 to 2020. At my coaching institute, my performance was average. Despite having a good reputation, unfortunately, there were certain circumstances where miscommunication between teachers, miscommunication between peers, and some unnecessary ridicule, which continued a lot, drove me into a corner. I had to face the music. This often worked me up and affected me to such an extent that I shed myself from others. The beautiful life, as we call it, plucked my petals, crushing them, tossing them aside. This thought always bothered me. What if I had chosen a different stream? Maybe arts, commerce, lived a life, an easy life. If neither friends nor loving friends, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Last year, I reappeared for my entrance exam, where I tried to set things straight. On my way, I met few special individuals who helped broken me piece myself together. Some pieces got lost, but I found better ones to replace them. My life had never remained in this dull, monotonous cycle of surviving the day. I began to see a burst of color when they were around. Since then, the hope that they gave me allowed me to venture further and explore further. And I started to believe in me. Today, because of their effort and their support, I find myself at quite an interesting place. Once a while, I even had this question in my mind. What if I had never met them? If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose your common touch, yours, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I got a decent score in my entrance exam. And as I continue my journey of self-discovery, I am building a newer, a better, a stronger, and a much more resilient me. Even today, everything and nothing excites me. I have my interests, but I'm still in the process of finding my. I have learned to whom and what I can trust my back to as I set my sights ahead. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dev. And I personally loved your speech. The reason is that the focus that you were totally into the speech, and despite several disturbances, I felt you were completely into the speech, focused. And when we are focused, even Cosmos helps us, right? So there was a line when you mentioned, hold on, and your car actually literally came to a halt at that point of time. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech and entertaining us. Next, we will go ahead to the second speaker. Before I invite the second speaker on stage, I would like to invite her speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Ankit.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Subbu. The speech objectives remain the same as it's an icebreaker speech. Hence, I wish the speaker all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Ankit. The second speaker who is going to come on stage is a person originally from Lucknow, and she is a consultant at NABARD. When I asked her about the theme, she mentioned whenever she wanted to focus on her higher studies, doing her job, and for almost 6 months, she completely stopped hanging out with her friends after the office hours. And that is the reason she was able to focus and achieve in her goals. And the next time, if she is not responding, please be aware she is doing her next set of studies. Let us have Toastmaster Jayati to do her audio and video check.
Good evening. Please confirm if my voice is audible and I am visible.
Yes, you are. All the best.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Jayati, every cloud has a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining, Toastmaster Jayati.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I would like to ask everyone, do you see difficulty in every opportunity or opportunity in every difficulty? Who are you? Please type in the answers in the chat box. Thank you. It is only the frame of mind which has the most significant impact on what will be done next. To me, every challenge is an opportunity to overcome it and come out as a winner. But wait, I was not born with this mindset. I have developed this attitude with time. Right from the time when I was a student to my current position, I have been facing with lot of challenges on both personal and professional front. Some of them have even put me down for days to only realize that I am wasting my time doing nothing to improve the situation. I would like to share some of such instances and my realizations which shaped my views about myself. I was in the final year of my 4-year residential program and busy preparing for the campus placements. When it was time to invite the tech companies to the campus, the incumbent placement officer resigned and a person with no prior experience took his place. As a result, I could not get a job in any of the companies. I thought if I were to search jobs of my own, then what was the use of my going to the engineering college? But then my mother, who is a teacher by profession, told me that colleges and schools offer a lot more than education and jobs. I second her. Staying at the college made me self-reliant and self-sufficient. It pushed me to come out of my comfort zone, sweet cocoon of living at home. By continuously putting effort, within a month, I was able to secure a job in an MNC software company outside of campus. I landed into the job agog with excitement, but my efforts did not end there. I had a strong hold on writing program codes, but what I got was a place in the quality assurance team. With no experience of testing under the belt, I was facing the music from my boss every day. I tried to change my profile, but every time it was adjourned. Then I changed my mindset. I started seeing it as a learning opportunity and a way to get ahead. To cope up with it, I enrolled myself in a certification course. By the time my course was about to end, writing test cases became a no-brainer for me, which seemed so tough for me initially. I am a lifelong learner who is agile and adaptable. With time, I have developed a growth mindset which embraces challenges, change, and critique on the way to my learning goals. As most of the softwares do, I had also planned to pursue higher studies because of the monotonous work. Hence, I enrolled for a postgraduate program. As a part of the curriculum, I had to spend 8 weeks in a village as a field worker researcher. 8 weeks in a remote village. Having stayed in an urban setting of Lucknow, Chandigarh, Chennai, Kolkata, and New Delhi my entire life, and not having even a distant relative staying in a village, I was feeling quite apprehensive about the hygiene, sanitation, food culture of the village. But as said, I moved out of my comfort zone. I built rapport with the local communities, understood their social norms. Upon my return to the campus post fieldwork, I realized I am so good at gelling up with people with diverse backgrounds. I am inquisitive, who wants to listen to the tales of the people, their stories, their experiences, and their coping mechanisms. Since then, I have traveled across geographies and I have developed passion to explore things. From being a carefree girl traveling to new places every now and then, I now have the privilege to stay at the same place, yet feel the vibes of moving around the world. You all must be wondering, what is this oxymoron? For the benefit of everyone, I am referring my toddler daughter as my world. She keeps me on my toes all the time. Let me confess here, I see parenting a child as a challenge. However, I would want to perceive it as an opportunity to upbring a better human being who is kind and generous. Her innate resilience to keep going, explore, and learn should not be the cause of my exhaustion. To all the parents out here, I am agog to hear your experiences of parenthood. Whether you want to empathize with me or you want to give me some tips, you are most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayati, for that wonderful introduction of yours. And there was at one place I really loved when you spoke about your daughter. Your face actually literally glowed up beautifully. So thank you so much. Every mother is special. We have our next speaker. Before calling our third speaker on stage, I would like to call the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Kalpana, to present the evaluation guidelines. You're on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. My speaker, that is Speaker Shreya, the purpose of her speech today is to learn and review a basic research method and present a well-organized and a well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, kindly note the time of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. The third speaker who is going to come on stage is a happy-go-lucky girl who always gets inspired by the off magic in the life and that surprises her always. When I asked her about the theme, she mentioned that after graduation, while she was perplexed on what to go next, when she started to focus, she was able to come up with the answer and she's achieving in that. So Let us have our third speaker, Toastmaster Shreya, on virtual stage, and I would like you to test your audio and video.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Toastmaster Shreya Arya, how to build a habit. How to build a habit, Toastmaster Shreya Arya.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I would like to begin by asking you all a simple question. How many of you are still following the New Year resolution that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year? Just unmute your mic and say, yes, I am, if you are.
Yes, I am.
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
I hear a lot of voices.
No.
Why is that so? So first of all, let's understand, what do we all do? We set a goal and then we try to achieve it. But this is not how it works. You need to change your entire system. For example, if your goal is to clean your bedroom, it will surely get you motivated to start cleaning your room. But if you keep on following your bad habits, will you be able to keep the room clean for a long period of time? I don't think so. Also, a goal is not what makes the successful people stand out, because the people who failed at it also had the exact goals in their mind. Then what is it? It's the system that they built. The purpose of setting a goal is to win a game, and the purpose of building a system is to continue playing the game. So I would like to give you a few tips to make it easier for you to build good habits. So first of all, you make it obvious, being as specific as you can be. Vague is the enemy over here. So if you say, I want to exercise more, you are also saying that I would like to continue disappointing myself. Why is that so? Because you are not specific. If you are specific, you would say that every morning at 7 a.m., I would lift up weights for an hour at the gym around the corner. So you attach the time and the location with your desired behavior. Another thing that you could do that would get you the same result is habit stacking. So instead of pairing your desired behavior with a time and a location, you pair it with an existing habit. So you would say, after I wake up, I would do 20 push-ups. Or after my class gets over, I would read an article every day. That would make it easy for you. Then you make it attractive. This is the second law. Of course, if the good habits were fun, you would still be following them. But we surely get to see a lesson over here. So if we combine the fun stuff with the not so fun stuff, then the latter one is likely to be completed. And for example, if you love listening to audiobooks, but you don't like to clean, tell your mind that you would only listen to Harry Potter books while you are cleaning the bathroom. That way, you would like to clean the bathroom again and again because you are willing to listen to the Harry Potter books, right? If you are a sadist, if you are a sadist and you don't like going to the gym, then you can enroll for boxing. That way, you would be able to exercise while punching other people. Thirdly, you make it easy. So if you make it harder for yourself to engage in bad habits and easier to engage in the good habits, then your inherent laziness would guide you towards the better behavior. For example, if you don't want to spend your Sunday playing Xbox all day long and you would like to see yourself working out, what you can do is put your workout clothes on the side of your bed when you are going to sleep and put your Xbox away from your eyes, a place from where you can't see it at all. So this will make it easier for you to work out the next morning. Another way that in which you can make it easy for yourself is that take a small portion of it. So if you want to start reading a book, then you won't tell yourself that I would start reading one chapter every day, because it is hard. You can say that I will start by a paragraph every day. That way you can increase the content when you are ready to take in that much. Fourth point would be to make it satisfying. So you reward yourself immediately after completing your new habit. A puppy does a trick and it gets a treat. So rewards are essential for you, because in the beginning you need a reason to stay on the track. So you must be remembering like how your mother used to tell you, do your homework and only then you can watch your television. She was playing a trick on you. That is how you make it satisfying for yourself. And now let us know about the 1% change. So if you become 1% better every day, then you become 37 times better by the time you are done with it. And if you get 1% worse every day, then it goes back to 0. So you don't get to see the improvement that you are making on a day-to-day basis. But when you evaluate yourself after months or years, the results are enormous. For example, the Chinese bamboo takes 5 years to grow through the ground, but it takes 90 days after it grows through the down. It grows 90 feet when it grows through the ground. So you can see that we are looking for instant gratification, which shouldn't be the case. The tiny habits and minuscule change can grow into life-altering outcomes and can help us lead a healthier, happier, and more productive life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shreya, for that educational speech on how to focus on your habits and make it a regularity. Thank you so much. I love the tips on doing something that you like while cleaning the bathroom. Okay. The next speaker, we have the next speaker to evaluate her. We have a seasoned Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy. Can you please present her speech project objectives?
Much appreciated, Toastmaster today. She has got an interesting project. It says, understanding your leadership style. There are 2 purpose statements. The first one is the purpose of this project is for the member to identify her primary leadership style or styles. Second, the purpose of the project is for the member to share some aspect of her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster today, please do the honors of reading out her title. Anisha, the spotlight's on you. Take it away. Wish you enough.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy. The fourth speaker who is going to come on stage is a student of National Institute of Fashion Technology. And when I asked her about the theme, she mentioned that meditating, being on meditation brings something unusual in herself. And for the last 1 week, when she has been pushed into a state of thought wherein the 2 minutes that she gets, actually that is out of the world, and she feels that that is highly pleasing to the soul, a very philosophical person. So let us have our fourth speaker, Toastmaster Anisha. Can you please check your audio and video?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Toastmaster Anisha, Inner Engineering. Inner Engineering, Toastmaster Anisha.
Right now, I hear there's only one iPhone in the world. It's a good phone, but what we are forgetting is the I. The iPhone is all right, but the I, it's the most important thing. The iPhone is just a little gadget produced by this larger gadget. Outside technologies are not a barrier. Outside technologies are a boon that has been offered to us, and they are turning us into curses in people's life simply because they have been not taken care by this one. We are only trying to take care of the external situation. We have done a lot of engineering in the outside world, and because of this, we have a huge level of comfort and convenience in the world today. The kind of comfort and convenience that no other generation or people could have ever imagined. Though we are the most comfortable generation ever on the planet, we cannot claim that we are the peaceful generation or we are the joyful or loving generation on the planet. So in many ways, the generation is becoming most neurotic generation or most complaining generation, because we have taken care of the outside, but we have to take care of the inside. The world is engineered the way we want it, but are we engineered the way we want ourselves to be? I have been one of those who have so much of energy, and I always had trouble in sitting still. My parents didn't know what to do. They put me in a track and I ran off. But whenever I would sit, it would be not more than a couple of minutes and I ran off. Though my family and my parents are more connected to this inner peace, inner engineering thing, but somehow I couldn't do it, or I couldn't do it how they want me to do it. Till I watched some couple of videos and read book by Sadhguru. Here I will be talking about inner engineering. A book by Sadhguru touches upon the myriad aspects of human, but most importantly focuses on body, mind, and energy. It's an insightful book which has so much to absorb and surely expand the capacity of human mind. Here are some quick lessons I took from this book. This book is divided into two parts. One half is about Sadhguru's own life experience and his journey, while the other half is further divided into three parts, which is your life, your body, mind, and energy. So my first point, which I took from this book, is understanding of self and self-awareness. How can you expect different results by repeating the same thing over and over again? I couldn't do that practice which my father wants me to learn. This is when the self-awareness comes into play. He states that self-awareness is a sadhana or practice that needs to inculcate in the day-to-day life. Second, pursuit of happiness. Sadhguru gives the real reason behind depression, anxiety, or other mental health disbalance. He states that depression occurs when our mind, body, energy are not in sync. I don't know what to do with my body, what to eat, what to not, or where to put my thoughts, where to not, or where my efforts to. Third is reactivity and responsibility. One of the most important lessons that inner engineering teaches me is that I must respond consciously to a situation and not compulsively. When I decide to respond consciously, that is when I'm taking responsibility. Fourth, live in a moment and enjoy simple life pleasures. He believes that this is super important to enjoy now. He teaches the readers to find peace in little moments and not to think about what is going to happen in future. And then I go through with this meditation practice, but that didn't go well with me. And again, I come back to my own roots, my family NGO, who teaches meditation practice. And again, I go there. I go to our mandir and perform the same practice, which my father wants me to learn earlier. I did it, but I did it with my own touch. These books give me the wisdom to create my own touch. So after some days of doing this practice, of sitting couple of minutes a day with myself, with no other thoughts in my mind, of course, that was difficult. And it is difficult. I am trying regularly. Afterwards, I've been able to gain a lot more focus and become much more calmer and content with myself. I want to share this same amazing process with you all amazing people and request you all to take something from this. And I believe your ability to live will be enhanced greatly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anisha. Didn't I introduce her as a person with philosophical thoughts? The way she started, iPhone is just a phone without the inner eye associated with it. Thank you so much. And indeed, Sadhguru ji is one of my favorite speakers as well. We will proceed with the speaker number 5. Before calling him on stage, I would like to invite his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Amay, to read out the speech project objectives. Over to you, Amay.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Subbu. So the speaker Harsh is attempting his level 2 project 3 speech titled "Who is Your Mentor?" And the purpose of his speech is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. So we all are, I'm sure, agog to listen to his speech and his views on mentoring. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amay. The fifth speaker who is going to come on stage is an MBA student from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. And he loves to discuss on the Indian stock market. When I asked him about the theme, he mentioned that even though he tried several other exams like GATE, GRE, and state PSC, still finally he landed up in management studies, and that is his calling. He beautifully mentioned about by focusing on our priorities, we have to focus on our priorities, else we would end up doing everything, yet we would achieve nothing. That is a beautiful thought. So let us have Toastmaster Harsh on virtual stage and please check your audio and video, Harsh. You're on mute. Yeah.
I hope I'm audible and I'm visible.
Yes, yes, you are. Toastmaster Harsh, who is your mentor? Who is your mentor, Toastmaster Harsh?
I guess timer card. Wait a second. Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay.
So good evening, everyone. How many of you never had any mentor in your life? Okay, so we have Kalpana. I guess I would consider that everyone present here had at least one mentor in some or another way in their life. I bet many people present here would agree to me that we need a beacon to move forward in our life. A person who guides us, a person who shows us the path where we need to go. Mentorship is not at all a new concept. It has been there for ages. And what could be the better example of mentor-protege relationship other than the Krishna and Arjun? Lord Krishna knew the Arjun since many years. He directed him towards his duties. He not only made Arjun aware about his flaws, aware about his abilities, he told him about his flaws, and that was very much needed. The Arjun had every possible abilities to conquer the world and the battle, but yet there were a number of things that he was not aware about, and that was compensated by Lord Krishna, his mentor Lord Krishna. So now, why mentorship? Because we always need a second view to tell us where we are lacking. Mentorship is all about a conversation with someone whom you trust. Your mentor would be a good listener. He would be a keen observer. He will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. A true mentor will get in your face when needed. And when we talk about mentor, he knows how to identify the positive traits in the person, and he will build around those traits. He knows how to identify the negative factors in someone that hinders his or her movement, or that hinders his or her growth. So when I talk about my journey, my dad has been a constant mentor to me throughout the life. From teaching maths in my schooling days to discussing stock market and which stock not to pick, we have come a very long way. He is very critical about how I perform certain tasks, be it my undergrads, be it my previous job, or be it my MBA, the current state that I am doing. I seek his advice often. He actually knows what I can be and where I don't fit. He clearly tells me that you should not do this because this is not meant for you. And he is very brutal with this. And honestly, I like to hear that from him. I'll tell you one of the incident that I faced. So I am from a vernacular medium, and after my 12th board examinations, we had a 3 months of vacation period, a cooling off period, and after that, a college was about to reopen, and I was a bit nervous that how would I going to face the college life? You know, the people from different background, how am I going to gel up with them? And so we were discussing this, and he made me join English speaking and a group discussion classes, and I did that for 3 months. Apart from that, I also joined a coding classes, and that was a terrific experience. Like, I was juggling between these classes all day. We never went out in those vacation. People were chilling, my friends were having good time. But when I look back today, when I see that what impact it has created, so that has made a whole difference. So the confidence, I was very underconfident during my 12th, and after that it changed a lot of things for me, and I am thankful for that. Again, while I was doing I was doing my previous job, I was, very 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 much into the thought that what should I do next, where I see myself from, let's say, few years down the line. And literally the doing MBA thing, it was his suggestion, and he thought that, okay, you don't fit here, because I used to share the things with him that, okay, I'm not having some challenging situation, it is kind of a boring thing here. So that time also he helped me a lot. Now, so today also he is very much involved in whatever I do. And again, as I am speaking in front of you, to join a Toastmaster, it was again advice from my father. He told me that you got to improve your networking skills. So again, I should be thankful to him here. Now, if I talk about the current scenario in nutshell, I have had a very good mentoring throughout my life. In TIS also, we have a mentor-mentee thing, and I have my mentor. I disturb him a lot, 24/7, from choosing a career path to asking for which faculty to take and which faculty not to take. I follow him undoubtedly. But one thing that I understood here is, like, whoever our mentor is, we need to set one thing clear is we need to tell them our problems, like what is the problem and what is the context. Because accordingly, the solutions are going to change. They are not mind readers. They are not someone who will directly give you a chocolate and you are going to have a solution next day. If you help them understanding your problem, there are people who are available to you to help you out and guide you. And according to me, you need to have a mentor in your life to find your North Star. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harsh, and for starting with a wonderful reference of Krishna and Arjun. And also, I felt the speech was quite emotional, because I always feel parents are true leaders without a title, and very less is spoken about our dads. Often everybody focuses on mothers. Thank you so much for speaking about your dad. They are true mentors. The next speaker who is, before calling the next speaker on stage, I would like to invite his speech evaluator, Chidanand, Toastmaster Chidanand, to present the speech project objectives.
Hi, Toastmaster of the day, Subbu, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm able to hear you.
Okay. Toastmaster Manas is attempting his level 3 speech. The purpose statement of this project is for the members to understand the type of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Timer, please know the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to Manas, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Chidanand. I missed to address you with your title. So thank you so much for briefing the speech project objectives of our next speaker. The speaker who is going to come on stage, I'm sure each one of you know him as a process developer, QSHE expert, and an author turned success coach. His focus is to help people to transform their professional and personal life to the next level of excellence to achieve their own goals. So let us have Toastmaster Manas on virtual stage. Can you please check your audio and video, Toastmaster Manas? And
Yeah,
timer,
am I
please
audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Also, timer, can you please share your card so that the speaker can check? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Toastmaster Manas, pursue your career based on your passion. Pursue your career based on your passion, Toastmaster Manas.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So good morning, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters and the guests. Do you know nearly 40% startups were recognized after April 1st, 2020. Ministry data shows it is something around 19,896 after India went to complete shutdown in March 2020 with the outbreak of the coronavirus infection, and where 12,930 business houses were shut down their operation in this period. What do you think? Is people's buying pattern has changed, or business houses were stuck up with their traditional selling approach? Let me tell you on this. So, but before that, I like to reveal on your agog situation why I said morning at this afternoon. This is my passion. This is my communication style. This is my success story. It was a wonderful morning with almost 16-degree cold atmosphere. A cold wind was blowing from that slightly opened window. To keep me warm, I covered my whole body from feet to face with a blanket and lay on my cushioned bed like a kitten here hides in our laps. I could hear the sound of rumbling from the kitchen. I had a lovely smile on my face, thinking that tea is being made. Wake up, man, otherwise your office will start on the bed itself, even before you fix your bed. My wife's annoyed voice on my troublesome work got me out of bed. I washed my face, see in the mirror, asked a question to me. Now I am asking you the same question. Just open your mobile phone in front view. Just open your mobile camera on front view. Look in your eyes on the camera and ask yourself, if today is the last day of your life, would you able to do what you wish to do today? If the answer is no, then you are a dead person. Again, I am repeating here, if the answer is no, then you are a dead person with a battery operated heart. The battery could be your boss. That battery could be your colleagues. That battery could be your clients. That battery could be your family. That battery could be your society to drive you. Do not allow anyone to control you. Face the music. Just allow your passion to make you or break you. Steve Jobs believed in the power of passion and claimed that his passion for his work made all the difference. Albert Einstein said, I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Imagine a great mind like that, crediting passion as the catalyst to his success. Then should you pursue a career based on your passion or a career based on your earning potential? Coming back to the increasing of shutdown and the startup of many business houses at the same time indicates the importance of the person's education, experience, energy, expertise, which comes from his passion, not the way of approach to do the business. Invest a lot of efforts without a smart goal. Just giving the importance of that process. Yes, process makes the business strong, process makes the person strong. But my mentor revealed the secret to success and told me on this. Do the hand-holding when I started working on my passion. On initial period, there will be a pain, as this is the baby step towards your success journey. But later on, you will be on top of the world. Sundar Pichai says that you need to wear your failure as a badge of honor. I started working on my passion from 2019. Now, on every Sunday, I am conducting a free success session for my society and give a glimpse on different topics with a mission to build success stories of 1 million people by 2030. I found my passion in coaching from 2008 onwards. From 2008 onwards, I just started my giving in-house coaching, where I just sold my 10 hours time, which put me into the corporate world. Now, my 5 days workshop gives a lifetime to nation, entire nation, to build the foundation strong, to build your success tower. As everybody wants the success in their life, but not know the easiest and simplest way. Nothing is important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate. Money will follow you. Here I like to end my speech with Napoleon Hill's thought. Napoleon Hills, who is the great author of Think Big, Grow Rich. You need to read that book. Everyone I suggest to read that book. Think Big, Grow Rich. He says, do what you love, or else you will lack the energy to become truly successful. No man can succeed a line to endeavor which he does not like. So work on your passion and be successful. Thank you everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manas, for that inspiring speech. And yes, indeed, passion is the key. And with clear focus, definitely we would be on the next step to our determination. Thank you so much. And we'll have our last speaker of today's speech marathon, who is going to close the marathon final stage. Before calling him on virtual stage, I would like to call his speech evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Savik, to present the speech evaluation project objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. The important thing about pathways is that every project combines your communication ability along with your leadership ability. So today's speaker is attempting his level 4 project 1, which is managing online meetings. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice facilitating an online meeting or leading a webinar. During the completion of this project, the member spent a great deal of time organizing and preparing to facilitate an online webinar or a meeting. In order to complete this evaluation, I will be looking critically at a well-organized meeting or a webinar. Depending on the type, the member may facilitate a discussion as well and have a debate along with his session. The member should use excellent facilitation and public speaking skill. However, I will not be looking at the structure of the speech, or for that matter, vocabulary and transition as well. Timer, please note, this is a long form speech, so the timing is 20 to 25 minutes. I wish the speaker all the very best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sauvik. And the last speaker who is going to come on stage is a PhD student in electrical engineering from Homi Bhabha National Institute. And when I asked him about the theme, he mentioned an interesting one. He used to stay focused in watching thriller Hollywood movies. If he is not focused, it would take more, at least 3 to 4 times he has to watch it again. So let us have Toastmaster Dheeraj on virtual stage. Yes, can you please check your audio and video, Dheeraj?
Yes, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Toastmaster Dheeraj. Mom, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Subbu, and thank you, DT. Yeah, thank you. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Thank you.
Anyone else want to, any technical person would like to ask anything related to lasers, any discussion, any debate? Okay, so with this, I wrap up my speech. Thank you for listening me patiently, and anyone wants to discuss can discuss with me anything offline. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dheeraj. To say before I open, I would request the Sergeant at Arms to get ready with the balls. Before I hand it over to the Sergeant at Arms, I would like to say that I am very proud of you, Dheeraj, and I hope, wish, and pray in the future, near future, one of us give a speech stating that there is one scientist, Dheeraj Singh, and he has a separate wiki page. He has backed 25 crores. All the best. Good luck. So with this, we have come to the end of speech marathon, and I would request the timer to present the timing report to understand if all have qualified.
Thank you. The TM Dev have the 6 minutes 18 seconds. The TM Jaiti have the 5 minutes 33 seconds, and TM Shreya 6 minutes 55 seconds, and TM Anisha having 6 minutes 26 seconds. TM Harsh having 6 minutes 14 seconds, and TM Manas having 7 minutes 21 seconds, and TM Dheeraj having 21 minutes 25 seconds. All are qualified. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica, for being very focused in your timing responsibility. I would request the Sergeant at Arms or the Zoom Master to launch the poll for the best speaker. Is it?
Yeah, I
okay.
think I've launched it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you. Please submit your polls. Can we proceed while people are submitting their polls?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. And with this, we would proceed to the next session. And thank you so much for all the speakers and Evaluation, of course, requires even more focus, okay, than the speakers. And to conduct this person, we have a person who is a man of focus, who I consider to be a man of focus, an embodiment of focus, being 25 years into Toastmasters. It's not a small job, right? So inspiring millions, or inspiring several hundreds, thousands, millions of people, particularly in Saudi Arabia. He has done a fabulous job. The introduction is very long. So just I would like to invite distinguished Toastmaster Lancy, and I feel extremely privileged to invite our general evaluator. The stage is over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy.
Once again, much appreciated. Right, I have a request for all the assignees in this particular session because we are running 17 minutes late. I have come in from that particular category where we respect time management. So fair enough, everyone crisp, precise, get to the point, and let's have it and minimize as much as we can. Great. To do the honors of the first speaker that we had, Eve, with a terrific if that he had. We've got Aarti, who does the honor of evaluation. The spotlight's on you, Aarti. Take it away. Wish you enough.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Toastmaster Dev, I was agog to listen to your speech. Wow, that was a wonderful speech. Treat and meet, triumph and disaster. The words that you used was fabulous. You started your speech with a question that immediately caught my attention. The way you presented your speech, I wonder if it was your first speech. Although it was an icebreaker speech, at Toastmasters, I felt you were very confident, and very comfortable. You set the tone. You have taken the first step. Best of luck to you for your future journey as a Toastmaster. The question, what if, made me think about how new things and new ideas might have helped you to become the person you are today. What I loved about your speech was, first, you told us about your past life that helped us understand about your dreams and struggle to remain first always. Second, you tried your best to fulfill the expectations of your near and dear ones. Third one, you have the will to hold on. That's really great. At some point of time, to set things straight becomes very difficult, but you have made it. You crafted your speech very well. There was a transition from one topic to other. You had a good eye contact. The purpose of your speech was to introduce yourself, and your speech fulfilled the requirements. Congratulations. Your speech had a message. If you can treat yourself, you can achieve your goal. You had your hand gestures were missing. Smile could have made your speech more lively. You can challenge yourself to give speech in standing position. I would have loved to know more about your future goals. Overall, a beautiful speech with a little help in your background position setting. You can be a good speaker. Best of luck for your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aarti. Next in line, we've got Toastmaster Jayati. And to do the honors of evaluating, we've got someone that I know pretty well, Toastmaster Ankit. Take it away, Ankit.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy. One opportunity used wisely can change your life dramatically. And today I got the opportunity to listen to Toastmasters Jayati's speech on every cloud has a silver lining. First of all, I want to talk about the topic of the speech itself. After listening to the topic, I was not at all agog because I knew that it's going to talk about opportunity, and I was corrected when Toastmaster Jayati did talk about her opportunities in her life. The second thing that I loved about the speech was Toastmaster Jayati had an audience interaction, At the starting and even at the end, she asked questions. When you ask questions to the audience and look for a response, that connects you with the audience at a higher level. So good job, Toastmaster Jayati, in doing that. The third thing that I loved about your speech was she had some aspects wherein she used hand gesture and expression. For example, when she said 8 weeks, so it was evident from her hand and her expression that she was surprised. The next thing that I loved was her personal examples. Personal examples are another way of connecting with the audience. And Toastmaster Jayati, you had ample amounts of personal examples in your speech, from instances of your life to talking about different areas from your college to your job, wherein you had stories for each of us, and I could connect to you on at a good level. The next part that I feel is that after listening to this speech, I feel that Toastmaster Jayati, you are a lifelong learner. You're looking for opportunities. You're an explorer, a traveler, and a dedicated mother. Thank you for letting us know about your life journey. Now, every cloud has a silver lining. In the same way, every speech can be made better in some or the other way. For me, I am going to tell you some aspects wherein your speech can be done a bit better. First was the audience interaction itself. Although you asked the audience a question, you didn't wait for the audience to answer. I did notice that one of the audience members did put up a chat, but I would have loved it if you had waited maybe 1 or 2 seconds for the audience to grasp the question and answer. So that is one way where I feel that you could have done better. The second way that area that I feel that you could have done better was that at some aspects your hands were visible, but not throughout your speech, because there were ample opportunities for you to show your hand gestures in a good way. Maybe you can stand, or if you're not standing, put your camera a bit behind so that your hands are visible and you can talk with your hands, because hands are another way of connecting with the audience, because the audience get to see you live and they also get energized by your message. The third part that I feel that you could have done better was you could have told us what do you do in your free time. I would have loved it if I knew about your hobbies and I could connect with you after the speech, asking you what do you do more in that hobby. For example, if you had said that you love reading books, I would have connected with you asking you what are the different kinds of books you read. So overall, a beautiful speech which had an audience interaction, a very relevant topic selection, personal examples, hand gestures and expressions. Just work on your waiting for the audience response, on your hand gestures so that it is visible throughout your speech, and about talking a bit more about what you do in your free time. Toastmaster Jayati, today is the opportunity to build a tomorrow you want. And I'm sure you have taken your first step in Toastmasters by giving this speech, and welcome to the family. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. Coming up next is the third speaker, Shreya. How to build a habit. To do the honors, you've got Toastmaster Kalpana. She's always got a smile. Take it away, Kalpana.
Habits. Habits. My speaker today, my marathon speaker actually spoke about habits. Shreya, your research, which was your objective, was, I think, self-experimented, self-researched, and I think you became the guinea pig to write down a thesis on habits. But your research left us agog, especially your examples, which every person faces every day in their day-to-day lives. Your hand gestures. You gave the speech sitting, but there was energy that you actually exhibited through your hand movements, which actually brought us to attention to whatever you were speaking about. Your passion on habits was very evident. There was clarity in your voice. And you did give us a takeaway. The takeaway was that everyone fall prey to bad habits. And how do we overcome those bad habits? Practical examples. So your speech that way was very engaging. But every habits that we develop we also have to develop a habit of how to improvise ourselves, inculcate it so that we don't face the music of being let down because of bad habits. Let me tell you what you could have done better where this particular speech was concerned. If you would have globally looked at the way the good habits have taken a decline, you would have understood that most of us are facing, especially the Z++ generation is facing an issue, psychological impact globally, which leads us astray because of bad habits like mental bad health, obesity, being laid back, not having any aim or goals in life if you do not cultivate good habits. If a research and a statistics and the data had been given based on behavioral skills as to the psychological aspects, I think your speech with your stories, your tips, your tricks would have taken and completed us on a scenario that is actually needed for the world to change. I would like to add here one last thing about voice modulation, especially when you were speaking about the punching lines, about listening to Harry Potter's, something to make us realize that's the best way to deal with your bad habits. So let's let's not face the music and develop good habits. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Coming up next is my speaker, Anisha. If no one else is doing it, then I might as well do the... Okay. Here we go, Anisha. Oh, the first thing I thought was like, inner engineering, there's got to be some secret behind it. And so when you started off with iPhone and related to, all right, but it's me, I is important. I figured out all of us in the room are as important. So where's it going in next? And you cleverly choreographed it in a way when you said it, okay, we are the most comfortable generation on this planet. And I was about to contradict that when you said, of course, but we also are the most neurotic generation. So thank you so much for having corrected that in there. But I think that's where you set the mood of your speech, Anisha. And after that, there was a logical flow of sequence because there was a lot of value. We always look out to see what's the value in a speech. And you said that the world is engineered by the way we want it. Absolutely spot on. I agree with that. And then you said, okay, I've been influenced heavily by Sadhguru's book on inner engineering. It's got two parts and then it's subdivided. And then you went on to explain the four parts. The four parts particularly is, the first thing is understanding of self-awareness. There's a reason why I'm going to repeat what you said that. Second is the pursuit of happiness, where obviously depression comes in. The third is the reactivity or the responsibility, and you must respond conscientiously. And the fourth is live in a moment. Okay, so I agree with this. Okay, the Sadhguru, that is his perception. That's what you've taken it out from them. Well, where's the message in this? I think I was a bit confused when you were trying to get into a situation, but somehow it clicked and you said, okay, there's something to be taken away from the book. Fair enough. Anisha, where would I recommend you? Because whatever you say has merit. Number one, you talked about your parents. Am I right? And you said you've always had this conflict of interest. Fair enough. We would love to hear a little bit more about your parents, because at some point of time after reading Sadhguru's book and the topic of meditation, you interlinked, correlated, and came back to your parents who had always asked you to do that and you were reluctant on it. For me, that is where the crux comes in. My takeaway from Sadhguru's book, which has influenced me, is how I reacted and responded, and then said, hey, listen, I should have simplified the business when my parents had talked to me about this and then. So that would have brought the clarity right at the beginning of that. So simplify the business. A conversation with your mom, with your dad, that gets in, correlates and says, this is what links me back to my Sadhguru. Eventually, we need to respect it, and we got to understand it's always lessons from home. And the third part of it, no matter what script you have, you've got to get emotional. So you were sitting in front and there in just one position. There weren't any much hand gestures. The emotional part of it, bingo. You get that not only getting pursuing people to understand your viewpoint, but also it gives you a lot of scope to put your hands together, talk about different things, and the voice modulation. It's important. In conclusion, you've done a great job. I see a lot of potential in you. The next time around, simplify the business, inner engineering, external engineering, no problem out there. But for me, I had a learning lesson today. Absolutely engineered it. Over to you. Okay. So the fourth, we've had I've got to talk to myself now. Okay. The fifth person in line is Harsh, who is your mentor. I've heard this before, and we've got Toastmaster Ame, who's going to do the honor of evaluating. Are you all set?
Yeah.
Ame,
Am I audible?
can I have a smile on your face?
Yeah.
That's it. Great. See, I'm a mentor. Take it away. The spotlight's on you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster.
You're soft. I'm not sure. You might need to raise your voice.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes. Yeah, but I think the volume.
Volume.
Okay. Now is it okay?
A little bit more, because then we would miss out the essence of your evaluation.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope now I'm audible.
Better, but if you can raise the volume,
Sure.
it would.
I will definitely. I will. Okay. So shall I begin?
Yes.
Okay. So starting with Toastmaster Harsh's speech, first of all, I would like to appreciate his efforts in well drafting the speech, and hence also the delivery of the speech. Kudos to Toastmaster Harsh for your efforts behind drafting the speech. Now, to begin with the evaluation, firstly, I would like to appreciate you that you started by asking a question to the audience, and this helped the audience to know the basic theme which you are going to talk, and this made them aware that you will be speaking something around mentorship. That means some aspect related to the mentorship. So that start was very well. Then you continued with your speech by giving example of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. What could be the best example than this, wherein you explained the significance of the mentorship, and you also helped audience to know that if you just remove the mentor's role in your life, then perhaps whether or not would you really go leaps in your life. So you explained the importance of the mentorship in the life of a prodigy. Then moving on, what I appreciate the most was that the connection in between the events. So during your speech, you were giving a lot of examples regarding the mentorship, and each and every event had the connection with the purpose of your speech. So this connection helped all the audience to gel up with your speech. Then moving on, the content you were talking about was absolutely clear. And since you were clear, I am 100% sure the audience were clear in understanding the message which you want to deliver in your speech. Then moving on, you took the audience, you understood the audience very well, and considering the matured audience, with your understanding, you helped them give a broader picture of mentorship in your life. And first of all, then at the end, I would like to thank your thoughts and your gratitude you expressed to your dad, and how your dad in every walks of your life helped you in shaping you, not only in taking the decisions of your career which you have to take, but also after choosing a career, what are the different aspects of life you need to focus on to make your entire personality successful. So I highly appreciate your gratitude towards your father. Then at the end, I would like to just tell you that had it been the case where you would have just stood up and you just would have delivered your expressions very well, then that could have added a flavor in your speech. So I really like request you, if you can just stand up and give your speech, that would be the best. Rest everything was absolutely good, and you served the purpose of the speech very well. Over to you, Toastmaster Nancy. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Toastmaster May. Okay, coming up next is Toastmaster Manas. Yes, pursue a career based on your passions. And of course, there's someone that I've always admired. We've got Chidanand. Please do the honors of evaluating him. The spotlights on you, and you're looking in good shape, man.
Thank you, Nancy.
I was hoping that smile would spread out. I did.
Great. Am I audible and visible?
Absolutely, spot on.
Thank you. What a fantastic speech delivered by Toastmaster Manas. Just after listening to your speech, I went towards my shoe rack and removed my running shoes. I went into my bookshelf and found a book which has been pending for almost 2 years. And I'm going to read it because I'm passionate of reading. And I'm sure many of the people who listen to your speech will be doing so. Thank you, Toastmaster Manas, for delivering a great speech and making us believing in our passion. You connected with the audience by the topic name, pursue a career based on your passion. Then you added data. Data gives credibility to any topic, and you added that. Then you had taken example of Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, and Sundar Pichai in your speech. Overall, also you had added your experience about your teaching experience, how you elevated into a next step. So I would say that it was a great speech by Toastmaster Manas. The energy, the smile, the content was very well organized, and it was one of the speeches wherein when people hear, they would definitely take some action. I would especially like to emphasize on the points where you said to the audience that go and read the book, Think Big and Grow Rich. That will change your life. You not only said once, you emphasize it twice because you felt that that book has changed your life and you want your audience member to also get the benefit. So thank you, Manas, for doing that. Now, each and every speech have some or the other things of improvement. I would like to focus on 3 things where you could take this speech to a next level. The first thing, when you are giving a speech, this type of quality speech, people are glued to it, and there are very less chances of making mistake. There were some instances wherein your pronunciation, your diction, or the clarity of words was not coming great. You could work better on that. The second thing which I noticed was in some of the instances, you are holding your hand. You're keeping your hand something like this. So that's a sign of nervousness. Though you are not looking nervous, it's a practice which you have, but I would strongly suggest that you can remove your hand or make your hand freely. That will make your speech more presentable. And last but not the least, I would strongly say that when you are elevating in your Toastmasters curriculum, you need to connect with what the Toastmaster of the day is saying. Probably today's speech, you could have connected with your speech with focus. Like Steve Jobs focused on his passion, and hence today everybody know him. So you could have connected that, the Toastmaster of the day theme to your speech. Overall, a great speech. I thank you for motivating and persuading me, and I'm looking forward for your next speech. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Sudha, the grammarian, may be upset. I may have to face the music in her report if I do not use the word agog. Till now, yes, all the whole length of the evaluations have come in strong and supportive. Sudha, please know I did use your word. I'm also inspiring and motivating the rest of the assignees to do that. Last, of course, we've got the scientist Dheeraj, and that was something. And of course, to do the honors is someone that I would always like to emulate. So, Vic, are you in there? See, can you see a green envy? I envy you, okay? Yeah, you're the one, the cool person, the calm and the composed, who always gets it straight away. Take it away, the spotlight's on you. I'll shift it to you now.
Can I have the time cards coming up, please? Thank you for that. The PowerPoint is used to highlight the power in your point, and it should not become the whole point that takes away your power. This is a quote not said by me, by my mentor last week. I would like to commend the speaker today for using the PowerPoint presentation so amazingly. At first, I thought maybe it was a mistake that he was in the presentation mode, but I was quick to realize there were no notes written on the entire presentation. And amazingly took out the virtual annotation and highlighted the points while he was speaking. I would like to commend the speaker on doing that so efficiently. He started with the question audience. What does MOM mean? That was a nice way to start. For me, MOM meant Ministry of Magic. Any Harry Potter fan in the house? But then quickly, it turned out that Toastmaster Dheeraj is a man of science. He had the topic right there. He explained the platform and then established the credibility of each speaker. The entire speech was very informative, and the best part I loved about the speech was he had supporting reasons for each and every point and each and every decision that he took during this entire course of presentation and in the course of webinar. I would also like to commend the speaker for speaking for 20 minutes. That's a long time. And engaging the audience for such a long time is commendable. As distinguished Toastmaster Lancy says, nobody can be flawless. There's always a scope of improvement. So here goes. A few minor things that the speaker can look at is inform the timer beforehand, probably, that I'll be sharing a screen and you could put up the timers in the chat. The second, probably he could tell the audience and everybody is present that you could put up the questions in the chat, or I will answer all the questions at the end. A sort of heads up would have been nice in the beginning. Referring to your speeches in your earlier time is not really advisable at a level 4 speech, because there are so many new people waiting to hear from you. A few things that I would like to seriously point out here. I would love to hear your contribution on the webinar. Not on the webinar itself, your team, the way you prepared for the webinar, the challenges that you feel, and how did you overcome it? The suggestions you have for people doing is, few months back, I hosted a webinar which had 135 people and I raised my collar. But you have hosted something even larger. I would have loved to hear what are your suggestions for people like us or anybody hosting a webinar for that matter. I would have further loved it if you had a discussion going on there with any of them on probably not a topic which goes above most people's head. Overall, it was an amazing speech. However, it did not meet the objectives of the speech per se. I would highly recommend you to repeat the speech with your contribution, your part that you played in the webinar, and the way you prepared and the challenges that you faced. Thank you. Back to you, DTM Lens.
All right, thank you. We had the timer. That's Monica. Please, precisely, you can give me the timings of the evaluators quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
Aarti took 3 minutes 10 seconds.
Yep.
TM Ankita took 3 minutes 21 seconds. TM Kalpana 3 minutes 27 seconds. And
Yep.
TM Shivani 3 minutes 28 seconds. And
Yep.
TM Amay 3 minutes 12 seconds.
Yep.
TM Chindanan Surji 3 minutes 30 seconds. And TM Shoki 4 minutes 3 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got 6 people qualified. All right, okay. Do you want to put the polls up? So we could just miss that. Okay, 4.03. Who's putting up the polls?
Nancy, I think they'll do it parallelly, so we can continue.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, I'm getting out into my scheme of things. All right, first and foremost is let's start off with okay, I see on the screen, what do you do? Fine. Here's my report. We've got Dasa, Kalpana, she set the tone, very nice, structured, measured, the way that she speaks in. Oh, pretty good, I like that, yeah. We then had the presiding officer, which is Dheeraj. He cited the Republic Day retreat information, tones and light indigenous products, etc. That was really good, good information in here. You created information on that, which is in there. But the one thing that I would do as the presiding officer is tell the mandate in the room that we are all in here is what's happening out in the territory, in our turf, in the area. Little things like, is there something coming up? Bits and names. Why? Because a lot of the members are so tied up with their lives and they do not have a chance to get onto the net and probably follow all those meetings, etc. So when you give it to them, number one, 2 things come up. Sorry, there are 2 things that come up in your session as a presiding officer. One is your communication. You are communicating to people and saying, hey, listen, this is the information I've got. I'm arming you with this. And in the next few weeks, this is what's going to happen. Number 2, obviously, an extension of your leadership skills in line with the Toastmasters communication and leadership skills. As a leader there, you say, okay, this is what it is. And perhaps at some point of time, you can always prompt, especially if you've got new rookies who've joined in, newcomers, and say, in my business session, I would like to know, does anybody have a problem? Have you got a mentor? It's just 5 minutes you take that time. But people respond to that and say, hey, listen, this is someone cares about us. You know, we're so lost up in our lives that someone is actually telling us, have you got a mentor? Would you like to mentor? 5 minutes, that's your business session. Works tremendously well, in line with the Toastmasters communication and leadership skills. Our counter, Shilpa, I need to hear your report. I've already heard Monica's, which is the timer. Shilpa, take it away.
Thank you. I'll just share my screen and present our counter report for the day.
Okay. And as I said, I've requested everybody to make it short and sweet, precise and concise, and
Sure.
help me minimize the time.
Sure. Is my screen visible?
No.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah. So very quickly, it was one of the meetings where a lot of people had no fillers. So a lot of people had flawless speeches. With certain areas of improvement, I'll just quickly point out DTM Subramaniam, most repeated filler was R. For Toastmaster Monica, it was and. For Toastmaster Harsh, it was towards and then so, and so is the same for Toastmaster Dheeraj, and lastly for Toastmaster Amay as R. So this was a report from mine. Over to you, TTM lads.
All right, much appreciated. Coming up next is you've got the grammarian, Sudha. We are all agog to listen to your interpretation of how the meeting went. Take it away.
That's great to hear. Yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Nancy. I'll just quickly share my screen. So today's session was very informative firstly. Secondly, very enriching in terms of vocabulary. There were a lot of good vocabulary which were used, like burst of colors, venture, resilient, adjourned, neurotic, embrace. There was one which caught my attention was myriad, which means countless or in great number. There were a couple of phrases as well which were used. When we are focused, even the cosmos help us. Under the belt, every cloud has a silver lining, which apparently was one of the topics as well. Vague is the enemy of excellent, in a nutshell. One quote by Albert Einstein: I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. That was one good quote which I thought was taken in the session today. Some grammatical mistakes, I would say some scope of improvements. Later one, you can just use latter. There is no need for the word one to come up because latter means the second one. Must be remembering could have been you might be reminded of or you might reminded. Results are enormous could have been results are immense. How would I going to should be how was I going to, would you able to do should be would you be able to do. Apart from this, there were a couple of pronunciation which I think was taken up by one of the evaluators as well. Abilities should be abilities. It's lacking.
You're stuck. Grammarian, you're stuck.
I think she's having network issues. So
Okay, so yeah, let's get on to the next person because this can always be sent out to shared within the.
For the word of the day and the phrase of the
Sorry about that.
apologies, I just got disconnected.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Can we speed it up, please? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think so that I mean that was the end of the report. I would definitely encourage everyone to use the word of the day and the phrase of the day even after the session ends. Thank you so much.
So much. I'm not facing the music now because I did use the word. That's right. Yeah. All right. Here's my report, which we have on the Toastmaster of the day, DTM. Subbu, you're articulate. There's a lot of learning. The way that you carry yourself with a lot of grace and dignity, speak about the subject that you have, which is unfocused, which I think is mandatory today for the younger generation, especially because it links in with but something that I really found out is that focus don't require eyes. You expounded your theory, of course, that's your perception, which is there. Fair enough, yeah. And then when you went in, you orchestrated and coordinated all the things. I believe it was a little bit overambitious. Maybe it's not you, but the rest is to have a marathon session and yet not being able to give time because we always work, all our meetings, as I've said it earlier, smart. That is specific, yeah. And the last part of it, smart, is time. And time management is an absolute prerequisite for us because it's a learning experience and you have to respect people for that time. So maybe with this, with that, it should have been timed and not cut corners in a lot of places. Okay, so next time you're having a marathon session, remember that there are a lot of people in the room who may have a lot of other things to do once they finish off at 6 o'clock. Okay, yeah, great, you did that well. Thank you so much for your. We had the speaker number one, Dave. You were in a car, Dave. I know you were trying to finish off your project, but then remember that's not a superfluous performance. Maybe a great script in there, but to rise above the script, you require hand gestures, you require voice modulation. There's a lot of distraction in there. And sometimes I wonder if I would cut corners with that. If I had to do a job, I would really love to do a job well done is it in that, yeah. Is Evaluator Aarti, yeah, you recommended a standing position in the car, no way. But then that was still fair enough. Speaker number two, Jayati, said every cloud has a silver lining. I like that you said you are inquisitive, you've got a mindset. And as Ankit, pointed out so with an analytical purpose. He said, 8 weeks in a remote one, that was great in there. If I was you, probably I would have said, don't wait for an opportunity, create it. And at some point of time, like you said, your credibility would have come in there had you talked about your what you do in your FaceTime, in your free time. Ankit, you were spot on with the analytical. You've always been in there. You've also been supportive. You use the CRC method in a way that is quite ethical, understanding, not overbearing, not intimidating, and saying, I'm here to encourage people. So a pat on your back. We've got Shreya that came in, speaker number 3, how to build a habit. Something that I learned from you, Shreya, is pairing. I'll have to start pairing also with my neighbors now. Take a lot of the habits. But it's good, a learning curve for me. And Kalpana took it away and she said, what's the takeaway? What was the takeaway? She recommended that, and she says, everyone falls to bad habits, improvise. That was said well in a context in here. Kalpana, next time I would like you to challenge yourself and be a little bit more specific. Use the CRC method in a way and point out at which point of time you would like that particular person, cite an example and say, this is how it's got to be done, as opposed to giving lip service. We all follow, I'm guilty about the lip service. 4, that's me. You guys are already there judging me in the room. Fine, so I'm at your mercy. Okay, 5 is Harsh. Okay, who is your mentor? We need a second opinion, he said straight away in there. I don't know whether he had asked his girlfriend. She probably has said, forget it, I'll give you my first opinion. But what I liked about it was, he said, I'm a vernacular school person out. I've learned it out there. And if I was you, this is what I would say. It's not important who's ahead of you or who's behind you. Use quotes, use quotes. What's important in life is who's beside you. That's a mentor. That consolidates the reason why you're speaking about who is a mentor. And I think that's where Ame, your speaker, said, is that you need to add expressions, vocal. See, Harsh, you are a good speaker. Use that. Get out of that skin for just for the 5-7 minutes. Don't be yourself. Get into an act as an actor. Use that stage. Be dramatic. Go the whole 9 yards. Whatever you want to, that you want to do, Akshay Kumar or Salman Khan, everything. Then get back to your mundane life. But that 5 to 7 minutes, it's your prime time. That's what gives you the liberty under Toastmasters aegis. Speaker number 6, Manas, pursue your career based on your passive. Interesting. There was a lot of insight in there. And I like that when you said that don't allow anyone to control you. I don't know who's controlling you, but you really seem to be in your elements at that point of time. And then we had Chidanand, and he said straight away, he was analytical, he was really supportive, and he said, yes, you need to pronounce yourself well. Why? It's not necessarily, but sometimes pronunciation helps out, because what happens is people who are in the room, if they're not on the same level as you, they may not probably listen to your entire speech, and they would miss the essence of your speech. A great speakers, sometimes we do have a perception, but it's very hard to kill those that effect. Pronunciation, nervousness with your hands folded, and of course, you really need to connect in there. Great, Chidanand, that was exemplary, but you had partner. Neeraj, you came in, you had this whole thing. Mom, I was wondering, because even I have a mom, everybody has a mom, and I was saying, what's so special about your mom? But then you equated that and you came back again and you said managing online meetings, WebEx platform, a lot of learning experience and eye-opener. Oh, it was exhaustive, especially on the quantum frontier. I've had a chat with you often in time. That was rewarding in many ways. I really picked it up, and I'm so glad you helped me realize post-Republic that we are a very powerful nation on this planet, undoubtedly, unquestionably. As an Indian, I'm always assertive and I passed out on them. And I think that's where Souvik, he hit the spot. He did that in there, Neeraj, because he used the CRC method in such a fashion that he congratulated you, did everything in there right till the very end. But then at the end, he says, look, Neeraj, you've got a lot of merit. What you say I can understand what you're having there. The purpose or the goals, or within the precinct of the purpose of the project, does that define that in there? Exhaustive material, everything. Perhaps all of us in the room need to take a cue. Number one is Souvik's courage. And I've always believed that. A courage to tell someone, look, I like what you've done in there. But perhaps I might also encourage you to do it a second time. You may find me offensive, but you may thank me in the end, because you probably will realize in whitewashing it, I'm not helping you as a speaker. I'm not helping myself as the evaluator. And definitely I've not hitting a dirt with the club, because nobody benefits from that. So for all of us in the room, at the end of it, a learning experience, if and we can always replicate, resonate, and do it the second time. I have done a project the second time in the room where I was given a second chance, and that second chance set the tone for my life. So I know Toastmasters gave me a second chance. A lot of people don't do that. So we get in here. It's, and when you said, what's your contribution? Oh, bingo. That's what we've done there. For all the evaluators in the room, and for all of us in the room, and for everyone at any given point of time, the minute we step up from our preferences and prejudices and ask the person, what's your take? I'd love to hear your take on the subject that you had. Did you have an experience? Talk to me, tell me, interact me, and I'm going to be receptive, and I'm going to understand from where you come in there. At the end of it, Toastmaster of the day, Subbu, before I give it back to you, definitely, I have to take a cue from your book. You're articulate, and I'm sure you'll take the rest of it, the session. Over to you. Good luck, good cheer, and good evening.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy, and your entire team for giving out a very focused and also wonderful evaluation. Thank you so much. And who else would be a better person than DTM Lancy? Thank you so much once again, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy. Here, I would like to hand over, before I hand over the stage to the presiding officer, I would like to send out this message. Stay focused in whatever you want to achieve. I'm sure each one of you would reap the benefits and you would achieve and go to a greater heights. Thank you so much for having me and this opportunity, giving this opportunity. Let me hand over the stage back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subbu. That was really, you have made this meeting fabulous with your teamwork role. And before we go to the next part of this meeting, I would like to thank all the external people, Lancy, Subbu, and all the evaluators, and the role players, including Shilpa, Sudha, Shivani, Chindanand, DTM Chidanand, and DTM Sovik. Yes, forget to tell that Lancy is also a DTM. So thank you, everyone. The best thing human can do is to show gratitude, and we are thankful and grateful to you to help us to improve. We have overshooted the time, but we will try to make our agenda crisp and short next meeting. Okay, so with this, let's go to the most awaited part of this meeting. That is the certificate part. So are we left with yes, we have done with the best role player polls, I think. Yeah. So the best role player goes to Lancy. So Zoom Master, please spotlight Lancy. He is always the best. Zoom Master, are you doing it?
Lancy, can you put on your video, please?
Yes, please.
I thought you guys had enough of me, and I was just about to sneak out.
Okay, congratulations, Nancy, for being the best role players, and you are best, no doubt.
Can you take a photo, Zoom Master?
Okay. Should I have a makeover?
You always look good, Lancy.
You can come in any form. So are we done with the photo? Yeah, just move on to the next certificate. So best auxiliary role players goes to Sudha Iyer. Congratulations, Sudha.
Hey, thank you so much.
Just confirming, Kalpana or Manas, are we taking photographs? Can anyone please confirm?
Let me do it then.
Yeah, could someone take it, please? I think with Lancy it was taken, Toastmaster Lancy. We can take one more photograph in that case. I'll just feature his, put up his certificate once again.
Yeah, I have done it.
You've done it?
Yeah, let's move on to the next certificate. Best table topic is not in for this meeting. Best evaluator. So best evaluator goes to DTM Ankit. Congratulations, Ankit.
1 second, Ankit. Yes. Could you just take a photograph, please?
Yes, I have done it. We can move to the next certificate. Oh, best speaker goes to me, myself. Congratulations, Dheeraj. Thank you, everyone. Master, please spotlight me so that I can have my photo.
Yes, you are spotlighted. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. So we can move to the next certificate. Best role player is done.
I think we didn't take the photograph of Lancy.
Yeah. Okay, so
we have to
please
take the
spotlight
photograph.
Lancy. So Lancy is my mentor also as well. So it feels good that we're both the mentor and mentee have got some certificates of appreciation. Yeah.
Historic moment.
We also
Sorry.
we
Okay.
also have 2 ice-breaking speech.
Yeah, yes. We need to show the
Yes.
token of appreciation and encouragement to the first time speaker. Yeah, please spotlight Dev Chavan, Zoom Master.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dev Chavan, for starting your
Thank
journey
you.
in the Toastmasters. Yeah, I'm the person clicking the photo. Yeah, it's done. Let's move to the next icebreaker. Zoom Master, please spotlight Jayati Vashisht.
She needs to switch on her video. Has she?
Jayati, can you please? Yeah, congratulations, Jayati. Your speech was very fabulous. Let me take the photo. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, done. Okay, so are we left with any other certificate?
No.
I think that we are done. Yes.
Yes.
Group photo.
Yes, we can have a group photos. Let me do it in a gallery form. Everyone is requested to please switch on the video so that I can keep the memory of this meeting. Guest, if you can switch on your camera. Okay, thank you. Yeah, done. Yeah, done. Thank you. Thank you. So with this, I officially close the 46th meeting of the Speakers Community Toastmaster Club. Now we are open for the networking session.